Creative Shrimp presents SuperNoise, a free 3D texture based on the Blender default FBM noise, aka fractal Brownian motion, that can be used for creating amazing solid meta displacements or volumes for that matter. In essence, this is just a little snippet made of the default Blender noises chained in an interesting way. One may call it elegant. It's just these three nodes generating a procedural texture with the usual controls for various parameters that can be adjusted to a hard's content, as all the detail is being produced procedurally, creating a self-repeating pattern that is versatile enough to create different things. To name a few, it can be combined with the micropolygon displacement, for which we can use the adaptive subdivision activated in the sub-D modifier. Just make sure that the feature set is set to experimental in cycles though. And then the SuperNoise used to generate displacement in the shader editor. Then it becomes a matter of really just playing with the various parameters to create primordial formations, sediment, cliffs and other such stuff, which just looks great. Actually, using adaptive subdivision isn't strictly necessary, as sometimes it's faster to just switch it off and rely on the good old subdivision levels instead. To, add a bit of polygons and go making rocks using this texture as displacement. SuperNoise also produces great looking results when plugged into volumes as density, as proved by the amazing works of the Nebula course students. So one can say it's pretty cool for generating both the solid and the gaseous objects in Blender. It's really this versatile. Here's a quick rundown of the most important parameters that you can tweak. What you may want to tweak mostly is this set of nodes called SuperNoise within the shader editor, and also this one called mapping. The texture coordinate can be left alone. So the mapping controls like location, rotation and scale can be used for shifting the texture coordinates, for sliding the texture in every direction, rotating it or making the pattern bigger or smaller, as simple as that. The most interesting bit is this set of nodes though. Basically, it is what we call SuperNoise. What you want to tweak here is mostly the scale over there. The scale of the first noise, let's call it like that. And also the scale over there in the color ramp, which is connected to the second noise scale. You can do it by clicking the white flag in the color ramp to change its value, which is scale basically. So it's mostly about tweaking the scales, in other words. That is the most sweeping change you can do that is very influential as for the look of the whole texture. What is also important is the ratio between these two scales. 1:1, 1:2, 1:8 or 6, whatever. The ratio controls the look of this setup more or less, so it's really important. And then the position of these flags on the color ramp is also something you may want to check and tweak to see how it affects the pattern, both the black and the white flags. The same logic applies to volumes. The main controls are this one, the scale or size of the first FBM noise, which plays a big role in shaping the look and feel of the final product, and the scale of the second one, while keeping the ratio between these two in mind. Then the contrast set in the color ramp also plays a big role. If you just tweaked these few knobs, you'd be having vastly different and hopefully exciting results. Naturally aided by the mapping control in the end, to find the best looking pattern. Of course, there are some other parameters to tweak like roughness, distortion and lacunarity, but I'll leave these up to you to try because large part of the fun comes from discovering the unexpected and honestly weird shapes while touching the edges of the opportunity space of the SuperNoise. That was Gleb Alexandrov for CreativeShrimp.com. Feel free to download this freebie from our Gumroad and give it a try. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. And as usual, drink more coffee and we will change the world of computer graphics.